Welcome everybody. We are here today to tell you about an amazing creation that we have developed called the Emotion Frequency Oracle Deck. This is our baby. We have created this over the course of 1.5 to 2 years, something like that, and we've put our heart and soul into it. So I'm Nancy from Limitless Holistic Therapy, and this is
Chakra from Healing Inside Out. So why have we created a deck when there are so many oracle cards out there? Well, being a couple of kinesiologists, and we've been collectively working in the field for at least 12 plus years, we've noticed that with clients there is a consistency of specific emotions that come up, and they're connected to particular meridians, and we started to see the connections coming up. We also noticed that a lot of people weren't even in touch with their emotions or feelings. They understood what was going on within them, but they couldn't quite pin it to an emotion or see the connections or see, importantly, how to release it. And so we created this deck to be purely based on emotions and connected it to the top 5 emotions that we found within each meridian.
And as Bujanka just said, there are many decks out there, and so this one we really wanted something that is helping you work with you, because who knows your emotional state and what is going on inside yourself and your own wisdom better than you do. So rather than telling you, although pulling a card does indicate an emotion, we really wanted this to be a bouncing off point for you to access your own intuition, your own wisdom, and really empower you to understand yourself more. And so this is a tool for you at the end of the day. Now, each card has, an infuse and a diffuse emotion. Something that we want to bring in, something that we want to release, because emotions, as kinesiologists like to say, or at least like our teacher like to say, is energy in motion. They're not here to be forever. An emotion isn't, oh, I'm this way, I'm angry, and I'm going to be angry for the rest of my life. That is who I am. I am an angry person. Emotions are energy in motion. They're here to be moved. And that is what this deck is also about. Moving from one state to another. Because humans, we can change. We are not stuck one way for the rest of our life. And this deck is all about helping you, supporting you in that change as well.
Okay, so in these series of videos, you're going to see a few things. So number 1, we're going to show you how to best use the deck. Number 2, we're going to show you some spreads that could be useful and helpful for you going forward. And number 3 will be a series of showing us in action as kinesiologists, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a kinesiologist to use this deck in a practitioner mode. And we're going to show examples of how you can use it with your client base, whether you're a body worker, a massage therapist, a kinesiologist, a Reiki practitioner. It really doesn't matter, or even a tarot reader. It's going to give you a little insight on how you can expand using this deck in your own practice. So that'll be that 3rd part.
Let's get started, everyone.
For anyone who's interested in purchasing their own deck so they can unlock their own wisdom and be empowered, just check out the description below, and we have a link for you to purchase your own deck. Thank you.
Let's get started. Welcome to part 2 of this video, where we look at the deck and how to use the card and the book effectively. So we've got, first of all, here the color on the border of each card, which relates to the meridian that we worked with in relation to these emotions. We have at the top of the card some letters and some numbers. This case is LI 49. We have the infuse and the diffuse emotion at the top and bottom of the card. And in the center of the card, we have a design which works with both sacred geometry and crystals to infuse and work with the energy of these particular emotions. Now let's look in the book. So first you can see on the edge of the book has all the different colors. So we can use the color of the border to find the card, or we can go to the contents page, LI, large intestine, page 46 to 50 to find the relevant part of the booklet. Or option 3 is we can use the number 49, which relates to the particular page number. All 3 options work to help you find the relevant part of the booklet. Now on this page, we have the infuse and the diffuse emotion, the picture of the card, a blurb around these emotions and how this could show up in your life, some affirmations to help you work with this further, and some different methods of working with these emotions, including crystals, oils, musical notes, angels and goddesses, and color. Each of these can help you bring in the energy of this emotion or work with the energy of this emotion. So now we're going to look at some ways that you as an individual can do some readings for yourself using this particular oracle deck. So the first spread we're going to work with is actually a 2-card spread. So first, of course, we want to shuffle the deck and we want to choose our card. Now there are many different ways of choosing a card for yourself. You can spread them out, use your hand to feel which card maybe heats up or cools down. Maybe your hand will tingle. Maybe you just feel drawn to a particular card. Whatever your process is your process. So now we're going to choose these 2 cards and lay them out. Now, these 2 cards are relating to how we're feeling in the situation and how the other person might be feeling. Now, of course, we can't guarantee that's how they're feeling, but this may help us come to a new realization around the situation that we didn't have before. So first we've got oneness and loneliness. Now, in this example, we may be working with a relationship between 2 people, and this person may be feeling quite lonely in that relationship and disconnected from the other person. But on the other side, we have supported and unsupported. And so this other person may actually be feeling like they are supporting the original person, person 1, even though person 1 doesn't necessarily feel that way. And so in this spread, we may reflect on different ways of supporting each other. We may reflect upon ways to communicate our needs more effectively. We may reflect on how we are always one, or how we can support ourselves in the way that we feel we are lacking from this other person. There are so many different ways that we can reflect upon this particular spread. Now, the next reading we're going to do is a 1-card spread. Now, this is just around reflecting upon our own emotions. It could be in around relation to a situation, or it could be in relation to an emotion for the day, or a just general stuck emotion. Whatever you would like to ask is okay. Now, for this particular card, we have energetic and exhaustion coming up. Now, this could indicate that currently you are feeling that there is a lack of energy in your life, that you don't have the energy that you need to do the things that you need to do. And so you may need to reflect on, how can I support myself more? How can I fill up my own energetic cup so that I feel less exhausted? What am I giving my energy away to that isn't really nurturing me, that I can let go of in my life? What do I need to change in order to gain more energy to do the things that I need to do? Now, as an individual, you can now pick up the book and look into what the booklet has to say about the emotion as well, to gain a little bit more insight. If you're feeling lost or stuck in relation to the card itself, maybe the booklet will have something else to share with you that you didn't think of by yourself. Or maybe just looking at the card and seeing the emotion gives you all of the wisdom that you need. it's your experience and it's up to you what feels right for you. So now we're going to work with the chakra readings. This one is a much more in-depth reading, working with each of your chakras to link into what may be blocked in that chakra, where you may need to shift into and transmute that energy into using the infuse and diffuse emotion of each card. So we're working with the 8 major chakras, so including the 8th, not just the crown, as well as an overall card to summarize the reading as a whole and what was going on in general. So first we're going to work with the base chakra. This one working with our sense of belonging, our sense of safety and security, and our relationship with our mother. So in this particular reading, we had accepting and frustration. So this could bring up questions such as, where am I frustrated in my life? Perhaps in relation to money, perhaps in relation to my mother. Where can I be more accepting of the way things are rather than trying to force it to be something else and getting frustrated when it isn't the way that I want it to be? Flowing with these things rather than trying to force them. Next, we have the sacral chakra, and this one is in relation to relationships and creativity. And we have wholeness and jealousy. So this could bring up questions of, where am I feeling jealous in my relationships? Maybe I'm feeling jealous of a particular friend and their achievements. Maybe I'm feeling jealous of someone else's creativity and ability in that area. And reminding ourselves that we are whole as we are, that what we bring to the table is what we need to bring to the table. Not to stop growing, but to accept again the way that we are. Then for solar plexus, we have energetic and exhausted. So solar plexus is in relation to personal power. So potentially this person may be feeling exhausted at having to always exert their personal power and set their boundaries strongly, instead wanting to restore their energy by being listened to in their boundaries and having their personal power, or feeling in touch with their personal power more. Then for heart chakra, in relation to self-love, compassion, we have peace and grief. So for this one, in this particular person's case, they did recently lose a loved one, but it could also be in relation to grieving a part of yourself that you've lost, a change in your life, and coming to peace with that. Then we have the throat, and we have smothered and expanded. And so for this person could be feeling smothered in their voice, as if they can't truly express themselves the way that they want to. And so they need to look into how they can expand and be more true to their own voice. Third eye, we have false pride and arrogance, and then confidence. And so in the third eye, it's in relation to our vision. So this could be in relation to arrogance in the way that they're seeing something, or having false pride in a particular element, in something that they may be not seeing correctly because it's the third eye. So switching instead into confidence. In this person's case, it was in relation to their vision of themselves, having false pride in their appearance rather than confidence in who they are and how they view themselves. Next, we have crown, and this one is relating to our relationship with our higher self and with our father. And so in this case, we have tolerant and intolerant. In this person's case, this reminded them of their father, and so this created a pathway to view where perhaps they are taking on the traits of their father and being intolerant in some area, or being intolerant of their father as well, and how they can shift more into being tolerant of people's differences, accepting that not everyone is in the same space as you and mindset as you. And even if you view it as wrong, it doesn't mean that you should let it affect you overly. And then finally, we have the 8th center, which is in relation to our connection to the universe, to our higher self, to the divine. And for this one, we have relaxed and restless. And so for this person, they may be feeling quite restless in relation to their connection, wanting it to be a certain thing, trying to change it or make it move faster than it is, wanting to get to a destination, feeling restless in relation to how quickly they can connect to the universe, to the divine. And so instead, learning how to relax into their connection to the divine more and more throughout their meditations or other ways of connecting. And finally, our overall emotion, appreciation and unappreciation. And so for this overall emotion, we're looking at the theme. And so in this case, it was very relevant to the overall session because we worked with appreciating themselves in their creativity, appreciating themselves and their voice in their vision of themselves, appreciating the people in their life more in relation to their father, appreciating the journey of connecting to spirit rather than feeling restless for the destination, appreciating what they have rather than feeling frustrated at what they want to have. So it was all very relevant in relation to this session, and that is how you would connect into that overall emotion, seeing how it relates to each of the things that came up and how it represents the overall state of what you might be wanting to transmute and what you might want to be wanting to bring into your life.
Okay, so now I chose the card energetic and exhaustion, and I'm going to show you how we can use the book and in what ways we can defuse and infuse the emotion, as well as add the energy of the affirmations into our field. So the first way is tapping. So there's a tapping method called EFT tapping, emotional freedom tapping technique, and you can Google this to get more information, but I'm going to show you how you can do it using our oracle deck. So if I had just drawn that energetic and exhaustion one, I would want to turn to the page. So I'm going to get my trusty assistant, Nancy, to hold it for me so that I can show you how to do it. All right, so you would find the page. All right, I may need my glasses for this one. Oh, maybe not. I'm getting close. Anyhow, so the first thing that you're going to do, let's just use the infusing and the releasing of the exhaustion. So there are certain points that you tap. Initially, you're going to be tapping at the edges of your hand. You can hold it down now for a second. The edges of your hand, and what you want to do is you want to tap these little areas, and we're really defusing the energy of the lower vibrational emotion, which is exhaustion. Yeah. So what I would like to do is I'd get you to tap away anything, any belief system that you might have about exhaustion. Right? So for example, I'm going to use me as an example. So I could be saying, oh, I have to do everything. Yeah. I have to be exhausted.
Yeah, maybe, if I'm not exhausted, I'm not working hard.
Yeah, I have to work really hard. So therefore that includes me being exhausted. What you would do ultimately is you would tap away any negative belief systems around exhaustion. So you're going to use your innate wisdom there, right? Once you have completed that aspect of it, then we're going to start infusing what you do want, right? And this is where I need Nancy. So the first part of it is we are tapping at the governing point
At the top of the head.
at the top of your head. And so I would tap in, for example, I have ample energy for everything I want and need to do. And the next point is just on the inside of your eyebrows, I have ample energy for everything I want and need and do. And then you will tap at the edges of your eyes. I have ample energy for everything I want and need to do. I'm going to continue down the line. I have an abundance of time. I have an abundance of time. There is an abundance of energy throughout my system and I use it easily. So now we're going to tap underneath our nose. There is an abundance of energy throughout my system and I use it easily. There is an abundance of energy throughout my system and I use it easily. And then my energetic, this is the next point, is located in the, we call it the kidney 27 point, and it's just located underneath your collarbone. So we're going to tap there. My energies flow uninhibited. And notice how I'm struggling to say that. That would indicate that there is a little bit of a block there. So I would actually say that more. My energies flow uninhibited. My energies flow uninhibited, right? The next 2 points you would tap is located just underneath the arm. For women, it's just near the edges of your bra. Okay, so I am free from energy drains. That's a good one, isn't it? We all have that going on at some point in our lives. I am free from energy drains. And then you would tap on the other side. I am free from energy drains. And then the last point is back to here. We call it the karate chop, yeah? That's how we can access it easily. My energy is balanced on all levels and dimensions. My energy is balanced on all levels and dimensions. So that is option 1, where we're using emotional freedom technique to tap in. So just to recap, we are first tapping out the negative, the exhaustion, the belief systems that I have around being exhausted, okay? And then we are tapping in what we want. So governing, eyes, outside of the eyes, under the eyes, under the nose, on the chin, near here, the kidney 27s, the collarbone, underneath, and back to karate chop.
And I would invite you, when deciding or figuring out your release belief systems, because of course we have our affirmations, which we mentioned in the introduction to the deck and how to use it. We have the affirmations for things that you can infuse, and of course you can create your own as well based on your own life, because everyone is different. But you can also use the affirmations if you're struggling as inspiration to what to release as well. So, you know, we have here, I have an abundance of time. Well, maybe you have a belief that you don't have an abundance of time, that you're always running out of time, that there's not enough time in the day to do everything that you need to do. Or, you know, my energies flow uninhibited. Okay, well maybe I don't believe that. Maybe I feel like my energy feels stuck. So then you can use that as inspiration for what to release. Okay, I'm releasing that my energies are feeling stuck always. So that's another way that you can find some release belief systems, or figure out some belief systems to release for you.
And just write them down. So those belief systems, so that you know what you're doing, write them down. Write the negative, the opposite, and that way you'll know exactly what you're tapping out and then infusing it. Okay, so that's EFT tapping with combination of emotional frequency deck. So the next way that you can infuse as well is using the affirmations. We want to infuse it into our governing line. Okay, now our governing line runs from the back near our perineum all the way up our back, and it lands right in here. It's the meridian line. So what we want to do is we want to infuse these emotions, these affirmations, into our governing line, but we can take it a step further. So you'll also see that we've got crystals and oils and goddesses and musical notes and color, which I'll go into. But let's start off with the affirmations. The way we do this, we use 2 fingers. You use your pointer finger and your middle finger for polarity. because we have a positive and a negative charge on each part of our body. And we start off in the middle of our eyebrows. And we're going to draw an invisible line that goes from the middle of our eyebrows all the way up the center of our head to the back of our head. And what we're going to do is it's really easy if you've got a part in your head in the middle. So it works, oh no, we're both on the side. But anybody who has a part in the middle, it makes it so much more easier, but if you don't, that's okay. So I'm just going to show you what I would do, and I will put my glasses on for this one. So you're using your fingers, you start in the middle, and you start to read. I have ample energy for everything I want and need to do. I have an abundance of time. There is an abundance of energy throughout my system, and I use it easily and effortlessly. My energies flow uninhibited. I am free from energy drains. Let's put that one in a couple of times. My energy is balanced on all levels and dimensions. And then if you find that a particular crystal really resonates with you, you don't have to do all of them. So I've got here for this particular one, bloodstone, poppy jasper, and black tourmaline. So we could do bringing in the energies of bloodstone, poppy jasper, and black tourmaline to help bring more energy into my life. And you will do the same thing for the oils, bringing in grapefruit, peppermint, and lime to infuse more energy into my systems. Bringing in the musical note of E to infuse energy into my systems. Bringing in the angels and goddesses of Archangel Raphael, Demeter, and Sedna to bring in energetic energy into my system. And calling in the color yellow to bring in more energy into my system. And so that's what you would do. You would basically call in it's a pattern. You're calling the vibration or frequency of the crystal, the oil, the musical note, the angel, or the color. And you're finishing it off with the statement of the infused emotion. So in this case, it's energy, but in another case, it would obviously be different depending on which card you chose.
Yeah, so maybe if you had the appreciation, unappreciation card, you would be saying, I call in the energy of amethyst to bring in more appreciation into my being.
Yes.
Or into my life.
However,
my life. The wording, the specific wording, isn't the be all end all. It doesn't have to be. It has to be these exact words or it's not going to work. Because what we're working with here is mainly intention. And so these specific words, it's not, oh, I used the wrong word there. I said I want to bring in the essence of appreciation rather than the energy of appreciation. Oh no, it's not going to work now.
Oh
no. The main thing is the intention behind your words. So, you know, as long as the meaning is the same to you, that's the big thing.
Yes, absolutely. Intention is key.
So now we've shared with you how to work with that card that you pulled to release the emotion that you no longer need in your life now that you have gained the wisdom from it. So releasing that energy and bringing in a new energy to infuse into your life and to increase in your life instead. Now we will move on to a little practitioner tutorial showing how we will use these cards in a session and ways that the practitioners out there might want to use it in theirs.